The Misses Murdock were having breakfast. In the bleak spaciousness of their white breakfast room, the little table looked woefully astray, as though it had wandered out of a kitchenette apartment somewhere and didn't know how to get back. The Misses Murdock themselves seemed somewhat lost. They were tiny and gray and very old. Two quaint figures in gingham, wrapped in woolen shawls against the cold of the large unheated house, and perched upon their chairs at the little table, munching their toast and sipping milk. Miss Jennifer gazed with her usual mild reproach at the towering white walls and through the doorway into the vastness of the kitchen beyond, and shivered. The shiver was also usual, as were the words which followed. "We ought to give up this place, Rachel. Rent it out to a big family, lease it to someone. It's big enough for 40 people and much too big for just the two of us." She pulled the shawl up to cover a transparent blue-veined ear. "Cold in the mornings, too. If we had a small place, we might afford to keep it warm." Miss Rachel, sitting opposite her, showed neither surprise nor worry at this complaint. She gave no immediate answer, save the lifting of white brows above her dark and brilliant eyes. Even at the age of 70, some traces of what had been Miss Rachel's stunning beauty remained. The hairline, though the hair was white and thinned, was a perfect widow's peak and set her small face off into the shape of a heart. Her eyes regarded Miss Jennifer with a dark aliveness, like the movement of water in a little pool which feels the current of the stream. Her hands broke her toast with definite grace. Miss Jennifer did not much resemble her sister. She was a plain elderly woman, as she had been a plain girl, and she held no truck with facial preparations. She looked neglected. Miss Rachel spoke a single meditative reminder. "Our father built this house, Jennifer." Miss Jennifer stared irritably at her milk. "I know. So we stay. Even though we freeze, we stay, keeping up the Murdock tradition. If it were only possible to break up a tradition and stick it into the stove and get heat out of it, that would make me happy." Miss Rachel seemed pained. "It's been home for more than 40 years, Jennifer. No other place would ever seem right to us after all that time. You yourself would balk at moving when the time came. I know you would." Jennifer softened grudgingly, still unhappy. "So I would, I guess. Come to think of it, I can't really picture us ever living anywhere else. We're used to this old house. A modern place with a lot of mechanical contraptions would probably frighten us to death."